What's good, everybody? My name is Noor and welcome to my channel.
And on today's video, we'll be seeing that how to create a database as well as how to create a table in Microsoft SQL Server Management Studio. So first of all, you have to open it. And now you can see on my screen that there is a button that says for the new query. Just press this new query button. Okay. So on my left, you can see that it's an object explorer window, and now right in the middle, which is a big screen on which we'll be typing all our queries on, that is the SQL query editor. Now I have to start writing my query. So first of all, it is necessary that we must create a database. So to create a database, I'm typing the command that is says create, database. And now I have to give any name to this database, so I can give the database a name, demo indigo. Okay, so after typing your query, to execute it you have got two options: either to press this execute button right here or just press this F5 button. So I'm just pressing F5. So a message window will be pop up that says commands completed successfully. It means that your database has been successfully created. Now our next task is to create a table. So to create a table, again, it's very easy. You just have to write the command. So just before moving forward, I can tell you one thing over here, that SQL is not case sensitive, which means that create in capital is equal to create in small. Okay, so now I can type, for your reference, I can type create table in a small, so you can have an example. Now I have to give this table a name, so I'm just giving this table a name as books. Okay, so let me tell you one thing over here, that when we are creating a table in our database, we have to make sure of one important thing. Before entering the rows data, we have to create the columns for for our table. So here I am creating the columns for my table. So first I have to type the name of my first column, how it's gonna be. So I'm giving it the name that is book ID, and I am giving this column the type, that what kind of data type it will be storing. So it will be storing the integer value, and now I'm giving marking its primary key. Okay, so the main motive of typing this primary key over here is that works as a unique identifier for each row. Once we have completed our columns and when we will be adding up the rows, so this primary key would be working as a unique identifier for each row, so that our each row can be differentiated from one another. So I have given this book ID the name integer and primary key. Now my next column would be book name, and now what kind of data I will be putting in, I'll be putting in the text data, and on which shelf number it is kept. So I'm giving the third column the shelf name, and what would be the data type of this shelf, I'll be putting in the values as a number, so it will be the integer values. Okay, so now I'm just executing this. So as you can see on my message window that it says command completed successfully, which means that my table has been successfully created. Okay, so for your reference, I am opening up the table before entering the row data. So you can see that the table has been successfully created. So to load the table, I'm just writing the command select all, static means all, from books. Now as you can see, that's on from my suggestion, it's giving me the table name it has fetched. Again, we'll press F5 option. So sorry, I have to select it. Now, on the message window, you can see it has successfully created the table that says the book ID, the book name, and the shelf. Now we will start to type and enter the values in this table. So to add the values in your table, we will type the query which says insert into table name books values. So the first value for our row will be the book ID. So the book ID will be 1, comma, the text name, the book name would be in the text. So I'm giving it the name. So just make sure of one thing I'm telling you here, that when you are entering the text data, you have to put it on the single quotes. So I'm giving this book the name Sapiens, and our the last column says the shelf name, which is the integer value on which shelf I have put it in. So I can say that I put it on the third shelf. Okay, once it is completed, selecting, and now you can see that see on my screen it's one row affected. Okay, so it means that we have successfully added up the values into our table. Now we are adding in the more rows, so I'm just copy pasting the data above. Now I'll edit it. So for the unique ID, I'm changing the unique ID because as I told you that the primary key will be working as an unique identifier. So the unique identifier cannot be the same. The book's name can be the same, but for the unique identifier, it can never be same. So I'm just formatting this book name, my favorite book, that is Think and Grow Rich. I put it on the first shelf since it's my favorite book. Now coming to the third row, again changing the unique identifier. Okay, so I have successfully entered all of the values. Just forgot to add the unique identifiers on these rows 1, 2, 3, 4, and number 5. Yeah, all good. So we'll select all these rows because for the first row we have already executed. Now I've edited all the rest of the 4 rows. I'm just simply pressing F5. So now as you can see on my screen that it says the row affected. Now I'm pulling up my data from the table. Da, 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 da. So as you can see on my screen that I have successfully created the table for the books. So in this video we have seen how to create a database, which is quite easy. And now after that we have seen that how to create a table, as well as we have seen that how the tables are created in the database.
So that's it about today's video. I'll see you in the next one. Till then, bye bye.